Hey, what's going on, folks? It's a special, Morphin Metacast episode. We're kind of structuring this strictly around a major movie that came out in the toku world, Shin Kamen Rider, coming for us from Hideaki Anno, Anno the God. Um, and it's kind of interesting about this film because I won't say that a lot of us, at least for me, I enjoy the movie, but like a lot of folks that are like hardcore, it's that like you like the movie, but it has its issues. And me and Prime were talking about that offline like a couple of days ago and stuff. So um I guess I kick it over to you, Prime. Like when you watched this movie, what was kind of like your first thoughts like coming out the theater, and did you need some time to like marinate before you finally like figured out how you felt?
All right. Well, first off, Guten Tag, mein Dudes, and Konnichiwa, Fräuleins.
Yeah.
Gotta get my intro in.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, it's really interesting that you mentioned that about how I felt, because when I left the theater, I'm gonna be honest, because I had all intentions is to see it a second time.
Mhm.
When the movie was over, I went, yeah, I can wait for the DVD on that. And I had like a lot of conflicting emotions, like going in, going in and coming out actually.
Yeah.
And so when I left the movie, I was just kind of, I didn't know how to feel, and I told myself I'm going to let it marinate and think about it, let it ruminate, let things kick around in my brain, and come back to it. And
Mhm.
CJ, to this day, things are still just kind of kicking around. Yeah, I had a very complex, very layered reaction to this movie. Now, to be fair, I don't, share your same sentiment with calling Anno the God. I call him Anno the. He can be alright sometimes. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
being a very weeb about Anno because I love the shit out of Shin Godzilla. So it's like, you know, that could
well,
be my Godzilla bias that's kicking in on that one a bit.
well,
So
that's fair. That's fair. I really love Shin Godzilla. I've seen it more times than I would like to admit on here, which is really
oh man,
weird.
I think Eris has seen it more times than both of us.
Which is weird because I'm not the hugest Anno fan in the
Mhm.
world. Like, there are a couple of things he's done that I like. Like, I am so lukewarm towards Evangelion outside the
Dude,
porn.
I'm in the same.
Um
You said the porn. You know what? I'll
Outside the
allow it.
porn.
I'll allow it, Prime. I'll allow it. I'll allow
Uh
it. It
Razor,
wouldn't be more from Metacast without that.
I mean, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't consistently horny on main.
True.
And so, just like, I'm not the biggest fan. Now, I do like the rebuild movies, which is actually funny because I know one of my boys who's a huge Evangelion fan. Like, he hates the rebuild movies, and I actually enjoyed the rebuild movies. And
Mhm.
so, like, when he was announced he was doing Shin Godzilla, I was kind of like, well, wham bam, no thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
But I went in and I was actually like pleasantly surprised. I'm like, oh, okay, you knocked my socks off, Anno. Now, were there Godzilla movies that did the things that Shin Godzilla did better?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
of course. Nothing is ever
But
perfect out here.
right. But I kind of like the theming of Shin Godzilla. I kind of like a lot of things that the movie was trying to do and trying to say. And I
Mhm.
gotta say, like, the last shot of the movie just kind of just tied everything together for me in a nice bow. Like that fucking shot with the creatures coming out the tail and
Yeah.
just it that made the if the movie didn't have that ending, I don't think I probably have the same reaction to it that I had. But it
Yeah.
did, so that's neither here nor
Yeah.
there. So going into Shin Ultraman, I kind of had the same, reaction. Where I was like, oh, it's Anno. I'm kind of nervous. But then going in, I was kind of pleasantly surprised. Again, there were a lot of things that were kind of shaky, but overall, I thought it was pretty good. Now, to be fair, he
Mhm.
did not direct Shin Godzilla. That was directed by his longtime collaborator, Shinji Higuchi. And
Yeah.
Shin Kamen Rider is the first project because he did Shin Godzilla and Shin Ultraman with Higuchi, but
Mhm.
he didn't do Shin Kamen Rider he did it without him. And to be frank, it fucking shows. Um, I was talking to my boy Alex and my boy Penn. I
Mhm.
was like, I feel like much like George Lucas, some motherfuckers need an anchor,
You
and
need a Spielberg there.
you need somebody you need a person that can talk to you on your level. You need an equal, a peer to tell you on some
Yeah,
bullshit.
no. You need a
Right,
no.
right. Which is fair. I think that's how we work. How we work, CJ. We're each other's counterpoint. Like, we can have that boundary discussion.
That's
So
why
no,
I
so
don't. That is exactly probably like I don't hate Zack Snyder. I always tell people Zack Snyder just needs somebody there to be like, no.
yeah, and I agree with that. Like, I think Zack Snyder is a really great person for visuals, shot compositions, setting up action scenes, and all that shit. Just get somebody else to do the story. That's all, Zach.
Yeah, same with Bay. I love Michael Bay, but it's like, hey, Bay, you need somebody there to be like, no, we're not doing this.
Right, like, no, you know what, Michael? We spent too much on this explosion in this scene. Let's dial it back some for the next couple scenes. And I feel like that's what Higuchi was a lot for Anno, was like his counterpoint, his check and balance.
Mhm,
Cause Shin Kamen Rider, I feel, and I think I said it in the group chat, is Hideaki Anno unfiltered. And going in, because I knew Anno has his vices. I know he has his tails.
mhm.
But going in, because he is a massive Kamen Rider weeb and simp.
Oh yes, he
Uh,
is.
he
Oh
got
yes, he
fucking
is.
he got fucking married cosplaying as Kamen Rider Ichigo. So like,
That
I
is look, that probably will be top weeb shit ever next to any dude that's like, I want a superhero themed wedding and everybody gotta wear superhero t-shirts. This
if I'm
motherfucker
not
said,
mistaken,
no.
wasn't he the only one in cosplay? Like his wife was dressed
Mhm.
traditional.
Only one to
The
Kamen Rider cosplay. I'm like,
the
bro.
mad lad. So I'm just like, okay, so in my back of my mind, I'm hoping his fanboyism would cancel out his Anno-isms. But bro, them shits fusion dance. Like that's this shit is his fucking Gogeta. Like, holy fuck.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it, Prime. You know what? Okay, so off rip, like when I got the theater, I put it on Twitter and I'll stand 10 toes down on it. I was like, oh man, this movie was fire, right? And then, like, I think it was like Sunday, I was thinking back on the movie, and it might have been something that you said in the chat about one scene in the movie, and I was like, oh fuck, I really did hate that moment in the movie, didn't I? Damn. And then it just everything else in the movie started clicking, and I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. Mm,
I mean, bro,
damn it.
he unfiltered,
And
uncensored,
it made me hate
unabridged
it. And it
Anno.
made me hate it, but it was just like, could have did that differently. Like, okay, fuck it. Let's start off with this. So,
Full spoilers. If you've not seen the
well,
movie, we're
yeah,
about
yeah,
to
yeah.
ruin the fuck out of
Stay
this.
away from this.
We
So
about to
this,
ruin this show. We about to ruin the manga. We about to ruin the first. We about to
yeah,
ruin. We finna
yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
balls deep. So
So,
this is
so
your
Prime,
warning now.
yeah, yeah. Warning right now. 3, 2, 1. Okay,
Let's
so
go.
this moment here, I couldn't see shit.
And
Prime, I thought maybe it was my eyes or something, right? And I was like,
n- n-
I can't see
n-
shit. What the
nah,
hell is going on here? Like,
and
yo,
it's
like,
and it's so fucking mad at me because I know that he can shoot a competent action scene because he did
Mhm,
it at the start of the movie several times, and throughout the movie there are a couple of really good. The fight with the wasp augmented,
mhm.
um, and like the first fight with the bat augmented, where it was like a straight up one for one modernized recreation of the first battle against the Batman from the
Even
original
Hongo and
camera.
Hayato was pretty good too. Like, it
Well, I
wasn't
got
that
some
bad.
issues.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I got some
I
things
know.
to say
But
about it.
but you're right though. He can film it, and I was like, this was a choice.
I'm like, directing and acting is a choice, and this is a very poor one that he made, where you couldn't absolutely see shit and it was muddy. I'm like, I'm looking like, was this a Michael Bay action cam? Like, what the fuck is going? Like, why can't I see shit?
Prime, I
And
had
I was so
flashbacks to
fucking mad,
I had flashbacks to Game of Thrones on this shit. I ain't gonna lie.
man. This basically was, you know what? This moment in the movie basically was this movie's long night.
It's like, if it wasn't
And
for
you
the eyes, I would not know who the fuck was fighting who. I was like,
who the fuck was who? And what gets me about that shit is that the Shocker Rider fight is an iconic moment
oh
in
yes.
Kamen Rider lore, the
Mhm,
TV show, and especially I would argue I would go 10 toes down on this. It's to borrow your phrase. I would go
mhm.
10 toes down and say like the scene in the manga, the fight from the manga, is way better than the TV show one because it's
Okay,
more
I haven't
Shocker
read the
Riders.
manga, but I've heard people talk about it. So you're right.
Oh man, that fight was so fucking dope in the forest, and that's what I'm expecting. Well, that's what I thought he would have done because there were a lot of homages and a lot of things, referencing the OG show and the manga
Mhm.
that, I guess I don't know, man. This is a rough movie, man.
Um, yeah, because I was sitting back, I'm like, why couldn't this be out in the broad daylight? Because this is right for daytime fights.
I'm like,
And
why in the tunnel? Why not outside before they get?
or
And
brighten up
why?
the tunnel at least. Like, at least that. Like, I couldn't even get that. I was like, this is dark as fuck. I can't tell what. because it ruined like them fighting, and I was like, okay, I see some punches and kicks, but I don't know who's fighting who because it's going by in a shaky cam blur.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like, did he just stop giving a shit? He just like, let's just wrap it up and let's get to the. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like those, the third act was just like I say, it's completely not completely, but it's like it.
It had
A lot of the things
ideas.
in the third act, it was ambitious. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Um,
ideas.
but a lot of it just just didn't work for me at all, man.
Big one for me. So Prime, AI shocker. Um, I look, I'm not asking deep, thought-provoking things for shocker, but like you give us this idea of an AI shocker, which is interesting in concept, and you do nothing with it.
Yeah, that's what I said on Twitter. I'm like, so they essentially made the great leader of Shocker in AI, and this is his one of his components. Was this J or K?
Yeah, Jay. I think it's Jay. This is Jay.
And I kind of marked that in the theater because at first I thought it was like the robot detective. I was like, oh shit, we finna get some more Ishinomori shit in this, and which is that's I guess is a neat homage
Yeah,
if it's intended, maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
yeah.
Um, but then like you essentially make the great leader of Shocker, which um and it was as an AI program. You
Mhm.
take away the Nazi background, which I guess no, it's not. It's not fine. I didn't like that,
No, no, no,
but
not. It's just.
but I mean, you make it an AI, right? And you feel
Yeah,
like okay, so
yeah.
you're contemporizing
Mhm,
the origin. Okay, that's
mhm.
fine. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Makes sense.
So like, but I feel like there was so much left on the table unsaid that you could have explored in the world with these characters. Like, what was the point? Like, why did you make that change? And
The robot like homages because he has the white flower, and I was like, all right, cool, white flower, because he's trying to understand humans,
I'm just like,
and it didn't go anywhere because it's
is
like
it
by
a
the end, you're like, so what
is it
was
a
up with this again? Like,
is it a commentary of people surrendering things to AI control, like comforts and how easy it is to like what was the point? Like why that backstory? And another thing that just kind of just irked the shit out of me is like there were no really shocker generals. They were all just essentially the monsters of the week. And I'm sorry, but like
I don't mind I didn't mind the episodic nature of
I
it. I
no,
think
I didn't mind that. But what I
because
mean to say
Ultraman,
is like
Ultraman had the same thing too. It was kind of
I
like an
didn't
episodic nature of like the different monsters he faced until we got to the finale, and then
yeah, I didn't mind that, but what I did mind was the absence of the shocker generals. Um, it's
it's
like I
like
don't know.
they're there, but they're not there.
Yeah, they're like I said, they essentially the monsters of the week served as that, but I'm like, I gotta get my Dr. Shinigami on, man. Like it just doesn't feel the
It
same
would be
without
nice to
like
get Dr. Shinigami, even if they said Dr. Shinigami was there in the background or something. Like if the reveal was Dr. Shinigami was the AI the whole time and shit, that would have
or
been
like
nice, I guess, or something.
Ambassador Hell, like Colonel
Yeah.
Zol, like nothing, nobody at all. Like
And
it's just
to the movie's
felt
credit, like I will say this, like the movie, and it's the best way to do these kind of movies. Don't make fun of the source material. Just I think that's why I appreciate about this movie. It wasn't trying to make fun of Kamen Rider. It's like, no, it's a love letter to Kamen Rider. Like you said,
yo
like the
made by
homages to the first
made by
episode, all
fans.
that stuff. Yeah. So it's like, which is something that me and Prime have preached time and time again. It's like if you're going to do a commentary on any, like, I mean, using the 2017 Power Ranger movie example, don't be afraid of the material. Just embrace it.
Right, just be it. Like I say, like I often say in the podcast here. The goal of the statement is to have fun, don't make fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the only like I will say this when you mentioned the generals. So Prime, why did she get killed off screen? I was so mad.
I was just about to say, I was about to bring it up the point, like, what in the cutie honey was going on here, bro?
Because I was like, oh shit, man, Hongo gonna have a fight on his hands, and she gets killed off screen. I'm like, whoa, wait, whoa, time out. She just got
Right,
killed off screen, like that's it. Like,
right. Like then
really? Like,
what was the point? Like it was like, oh, we had to show them getting her poison. You could have just had that in a line of dialogue, bro. We didn't need to
didn't need to show a
who
whole. 2-minute sequence of her murdering
What
people, and I'm like, all right, cool.
what sponsors fetish were you fulfilling there, bros?
For the weebs, Brian, for the weebs. All right. You know,
I mean, I guess for the Rule 34, I mean, do it for the porn. I mean, I respect it, sure.
yeah, I definitely respect it, but yeah, like her. Yeah, I was expecting more, and it's like, oh, really? Like, and you know what? This is my theory. Maybe it's just me. I think the way that they did this movie, it felt like that they might do a follow-up movie to this, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
You know what? I disagree. I feel like the way they did it, they were just trying to cram everything as much as possible to get as much in as they could.
That too.
Because honestly, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong in this, because I know I might get some pushback on this, but I feel that maybe the first movie should have just been Hongo, and then if there
Yeah,
was a
once you
sequel,
yeah,
then you can
once you
introduce
put
Ichimonji.
yeah, once you put Ichimonji in there, then it kind of turns into like when way early episode we did more for Metacast where we talked about Kamen Rider the first, right? Where it had both of the first and second in the first movie, and you're like, hold on, like what's going on here? Like it
Which, I get, I understand. Like, they are the double riders. They are Kamen Rider number one, Kamen Rider number two. Like,
yeah,
I get
you
it.
know,
I get it.
because
They
the
are both
show
the leads.
had yeah,
Look,
both should yeah, I get that.
I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. But maybe they would have done as a narrow focus because Ichimonji is not done any favors by this movie.
He's entertaining. I loved him.
I mean, the
I,
actor was fine because it took me a while to get over the fact that he was taller than Hongo. Like, that was kind of taking me out the movie for a little bit.
Prime, I swear to you, I laughed so fucking hard at that shit because I was like, is he supposed to be taller than him? Like,
No.
that fucked with my head because I was like, bro, like this isn't looking too good for Kamen Rider 1 right now. If
Like,
dude is taller
I had to let that go and go, you know what? They got the best actor for the job.
yeah,
They play off each other well, but that's a tall lad.
oh, very much. That dude about a good 5'11" and shit. It's like, what the hell? Like, what are we
And
doing here?
like I said, he was interesting. He did the actor I did a fantastic job, but like
Yeah, I liked him.
he's
I
not
liked him.
done much service by the material here because he's really not given much to do. He's in what, like 4 scenes tops.
Yeah, once he comes into the fold and him and Hongo fight it out and he gets taken out of his mind control, then he just turns into, all right, guys, I'm out. Peace. And it's like, okay.
LOL, psych, not really. Here I am.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what was the point of that? Like, okay.
I guess I'll help you out there, Hongo. It's cool. It's cool.
Oh,
It's like,
okay, sure, Ichimonji. And which again sad because Ichimonji is the drip god in the in the OG show, and it's like one of the best parts of the first and the next.
for those that don't know, for the people that probably aren't familiar with Kamen Rider lore, so and Prime, you can correct me on this. Hongo in the show proper, he ended up going to the American branch to investigate Shocker, and Ichimonji ends up taking over as Kamen Rider in Japan. And wasn't it real life? It was basically the actor kind of bowed out for some personal reasons, or was it something else?
No, Fujioka was involved in a motorcycle accident that fucked up his
Okay,
leg.
okay.
Which by the way, Anno, in the fight with Ichimonji in the movie, you have Hongo fuck his leg up. And I saw that shit and I went, I can't tell if this is in bad taste. Because it took me a second to register because like the shot lingers on it, and I went, wait a minute. I went, wait a goddamn minute.
It felt like a Family Guy skit, like when their people's legs is broken and shit a little bit.
Right.
I kind of laughed. Dude, it wasn't just me. It was a couple other people that laughed their ass off. And it's like, yo, his leg is really just sitting like that.
And I'm like, I can't. Is it too soon? Like, this is making me uncomfortable.
Then he just did a backflip later on. Like, yeah, my leg feels better. It's great. It's awesome.
Like, can't tell if in poor taste. I don't know. I mean,
if the main actor doesn't care, maybe he was pissed off and had the Arthur fist. I don't know.
I mean, he didn't die and he came back to the show, but still, that just seemed really deliberate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's also fucked up. And it's also fucked up because the Hongo actor in this movie also got into a motorcycle incident and messed up his leg, and so shooting had to be delayed for a bit. So maybe don't joke about this shit. Maybe
maybe the actor was cool with it. I don't know.
I don't know. Now, wouldn't it be fucked up? I was say, now, wouldn't it be fucked up if this was the stunt that did it?
Man, listen. It's like, hey, keep the camera rolling, but my leg. dope them up. Let's keep this camera rolling. Right
I want that realism and emotion.
like so we have that, and then like you might as well just say this is V3, prelude to V3. You might as well say it was V3 at this stage.
CJ, when he was doing the AT field, I was losing my shit. I was like, motherfuck. I almost threw my drink at the screen. I was so like, fuck you, Anno, bro.
I sat back and I was like, yeah, he's V0, the prototype. I'm like, bullshit, that's V3. What are we doing here? Like, come on. Like, I'm not mad at it, but it's like, come on. Like,
well, number one, gotta sell them toys.
hey, I ain't
pre-order the figure now on Premium Bandai. No, I'm
Bandai,
serious. You
V3.
can. I'm dead serious. You can get it right now. It's on Premium Bandai.
Hey, they promoted the shit out of that, at least in my theater for it. I don't know about yours, but they were.
Oh, dude, I was just finna. We need to talk about that shit. We need to talk about that shit. So, the experience I have seeing Shin Ultraman versus seeing this in theater was like night and fucking day. And I saw them at the same theater now, mind you.
Oh, really? Really? I saw mine in 2 different theaters. So
this is brought out. This is done. Both of these are done by Fandom, right?
Yeah, Fandom.
So the Shin Ultraman one, they had like trailers and trivia and shit playing. They had like commercials for like Ultraman products and the Ultraman YouTube channel. They were like, oh, go to stores, get these Blu-rays
for the DVD more than anything.
They're like, you can get these action figures here on Amazon. It was like, here's some trivia, here's some Ultraman trivia, and here's a summary of the original show and Ultra Q, and it's like all kinds of fun shit. Going to the Shin Kamen Rider, and I think it was also in the same. I also think it was in the same room, as a matter of fact. Now that I think about it, I didn't have the same seat though. I'm not that. I'm not that that guy. But going there, right, and there's nothing playing. The screen's entirely black because you got to show up like a couple of minutes early, thinking that maybe it could be the same thing. The screen goes completely black. There's no trailers for the other movies. It's just hard, it's black, and just jump straight into the movie. And I went, oh, okay.
Oh, so mine was they were advertising the shit out of P Bandai. Shout Factory did a lot of promotion for the Kamen Rider, Kuga and
Ryuki.
Deca Ranger getting a lot of promotion. A lot of Super Sentai stuff was getting promotion, and P Bandai for sure.
Wow, maybe just my theater being Kuntz.
Might be, yeah. Because I know even for Shin Ultraman, it was really more Supro heavy because I mean it's fucking Ultraman, so it was very Supro heavy on the DVD advertisements to get people to go to get the DVDs, even to the point of Best Buy being the advertising for it, which I was laughing a little bit like, oh, Best Buy is advertising Ultraman. Interesting.
I mean, what a time to be alive, bro.
$8.99, folks. Ultraman, get it. Blu-ray.
What a time to be alive. Who would have thunk?
Oh man, but nah, when I saw that dude, I was like, so V. Now, granted, I know this character is from the manga, right?
No, this is an OC donut steal.
This is an OC. Wow. So he just gave us V3 without.
Let me roll back. As far as I'm aware of, this is an OC donut steal. Like he wasn't in the manga that I fucking remember. He wasn't in the first, wasn't in the next.
Called himself Kamen Rider 0, and there was like 10 of us that was like, is that V3?
I mean, he has the double typhoon. And an AT field. And his plan is to send everybody into his simulation world, kind of like the end of Evangelion. I see you, fucking Anno. I fucking see you. Connect people.
Beat the shit out of Hongo and Ichimonju, like beat them for all they were worth. I'm like, Jesus.
I mean, sure.
I mean, that's really all it was. It was like, all right, cool, like, okay. I'll say this. I know we're bagging on it, but I will say this. Like, hold up, do I have the shot? Do I have the actual shot? Actually, I don't. I thought I had the shot of it and stuff, but no, like the beginning of the movie of like that whole thing with him fighting the spider. I did love it because I did like how the movie just started right from the proceedings. It didn't like.
Oh yeah, didn't know. There's no really huge build up. They just jump right into it. And like I said, I really liked a lot of the fights in the early part of the movie were just straight up like 1-for-1 modern updates of the original fights from the show. And another thing I just absolutely fucking loved is that after Hongo goes batshit on those chakra grunts, he's like horrified by the things that he's done. And
Mhm.
I don't know if this is just me reading into it or if it was maybe the screen of my movie theater was kind of fucked up. But throughout the movie, Hongo kind of has like this tremor where it's almost like he's afraid of himself and what he could do. And so he
Mhm.
becomes like really reserved and into it. Like I thought all that was like fucking phenomenal.
Like, I just
Um,
because like, this whole thing right here, like, at if you stay to the end of the movie, they literally show the stuff from the show, like, this whole lineup that's straight out the fucking first episode, all that shit, and it was just, like, a lot of us were, like, losing our shit, like, "Oh my god, they're just recreating the whole thing. This is dope as fuck." Like, "Yo."
yeah, those parts were good. Or and also like I say, some of the stuff from the manga. Now I think this is entirely intentional. Was this? I think this was during the waltz augmented segment where Hongo was parachuting at jumping at their plane,
Yeah, Wasp. Yeah, it was
and
a Wasp.
Rumiko she goes, "I'll believe in him. I believe in Kamen Rider," and I'm
Mhm.
like, that can't be intentional because there's a panel from Kamen Rider the Spirits where Ichimonji's jumping out of the sky, and
Yeah.
someone's talking to another character going, "Once you believe in him, believe in Kamen Rider," and I'm like, and they're like doing the same like pose in the air, and I'm like, that has to be intentional. It has to be right. It's just,
Yeah.
that's not just me, right?
It's not just you.
Okay, okay.
Alright. Just say, not just you. You're good. Oh, man, like, alright.
And to be fair, I'll give you this. Like the point with the machine at the end was kind of like the big machine from the manga, and it also kind of has I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like I like the visual of it, but it's just like I wish they did a little bit more with it other than, hey, this machine right here is trying to understand humans, and every time one of the augment members, senior members of Shocker die, he puts a flower inside of it. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's trying to understand empathy and death. That I get that, but it's like, where is this going? And it didn't feel like it went anywhere. It was just like, all right, cool, sure.
I feel like a lot of things in the movie just didn't really go anywhere. Because to be honest, like I don't feel like the movie had a really strong structure. It felt like especially early on, it felt like a bunch of homages like strung together with like a paper thin,
Bro,
you
like,
know.
he beats the spider Og and immediately cut to bam, got to face off against Bat Og, and I'm like, so what's this guy's deal? And he's just evil scientist, evil monster today for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and then boom, he's dead.
Which can I just say that kick he caught was spectacular.
Look, I think the spider kick was just dope as shit to me personally.
I mean, that was a good one. That was a good one. But him mad talking shit about how he's not gonna catch him. I'm like, oh bro, don't shit talk Kamen Rider, bro.
Bro, when he rolled up, first off, before we get to that death though, I like practical effects. The makeup effects for this is just, I love it.
Yeah, like all the effects department did a really good job. And a matter of fact, one of my only main gripes was like when the fights turned like really CGI heavy. I was kind of
Oh
disappointed.
yeah. Yeah,
Like I
it's
wish they kept some of that practical feel. Like that's another reason I really like the first because a lot of those fights were like practical and like really visceral.
Yeah, because I
Um,
think in for Kamen Rider the first, they really kind of, because that movie, I guess, because I forget who directed the first. I forgot who directed it, but it felt like the first, really they wanted to keep it strictly to just practical effects. Because even the rider kick in that one wasn't CG. It was like, oh, rider kicking it, boom, whatever happens, happens kind of thing.
it's Tako Nagishi.
Ah, okay, talking to Gishi, like it felt very grounded.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things. That's one of the strengths. Like, if you ever watch the original show, like a lot of the really great things you got to remember is like these people were doing the stunts themselves, like out in the quarries and out in the the canyons and shit.
Good old Japanese quarries.
And like one of my favorite parts about the original show is that you knew some real shit was about to kick off when they had to switch the helmet from the helmet with the segmented eyes to the
Mhm.
stunt helmet that was like made of a softer material. I was
Yeah,
like, oh shit, they
about to
put to
get
do a
kicked
good,
in the
they
head.
put to do a big stunt. Some real shit for to happen.
Nigga about to get kicked in the head and get fucked up. Let's go.
I'm like, oh man, they're gonna do some camera work. Hold on, hold on. Had to switch the helmets.
Hey, look, there were like, okay, the moment that got me, that I loved, is, again, we're talking about the opening, is when he's on the bike doing the first transformation. I got goosebumps a little bit on that. I ain't
I
gonna lie.
mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like every time he transformed, every time he got on a cyclone, every time he struck a pose, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like I turned into like a little
Look,
kid. I'm
look, look,
sorry.
look. I should talk this, but that rider pose, I can at least see that shit. I'm like, all right, I kind of marked out a little bit on the rider pose, even if it's in the pitch black dark.
Right? You gotta squint to see it, but yeah, that's what you love to see.
You love to see it, and stuff. I mean, even down to Ichimonji getting the new suit at the end, it's like, all right, that's cool, cool. But it's those moments. That's why it's like, and maybe that's probably why like those moments is probably why like I don't hate the movie, and I think that's why a lot of folks they're kind of like, I don't hate the movie, but it's like, it could have been so much better because it's like
Right?
Anno does these bad things, but then he does all these good things that just makes us all warm and tingly inside, and we're like,
Yeah, like that's a huge problem. Like a lot of this movie has his fingerprints like all over it, and it shows, man.
it's like, and you hate that because it's like, and it's not even just this. There's other movies that I love that I should just hate, but it's like the director somehow hits the warm tinglies inside of me. I'm like, fuck, I can't hate this. I should
Right.
hate it, but I can't
Which
hate
is
it.
which
Damn
is
it.
fair, which is fair. And like I say, it's very complicated. Like I don't hate the movie. I have a
Yeah.
lot of problems with it. There's a lot that I loved about it. But like I feel like I'm that perfect equilibrium. It's like there's a lot I loved about it, there's a lot I didn't like about it, and they're kind of like canceling each other out
I think I'm
for
just
my
happy that like, and I think and it's funny too because I think this is where I feel like a lot of us Toku fans are kind of on the same page. I think a lot of us at the same time, it's like there's a sense of happiness that it's here in America and people. I mean, dude, this movie's getting another second screening. That's like unheard of for something like this.
right,
June
which is
8th is
cool.
getting another one, and it's like, holy crap! They're giving it. So it's like I'm happy that people are able to see this, and it's getting some pretty good critical acclaim from reviewers. Which I'm like, oh, okay,
That's
interesting.
that's fine, but like I kind of also feel like that could be a double-edged sword
How
because
you
then
figure?
you have people who come in and think like this was all Toku should be. Um, and no, this is all Kamen Rider should
Yeah,
be, and no,
yeah. Which I mean,
and
but that's what I'm saying. It's weird too because it's like they'll probably see this as dark, but it's like, but it still has the fun of like Toku in it. So
not
it's like,
really the fun. Like I actually
you
disagree
don't
with
think
that.
so?
Like
Because
no,
even
it doesn't
because
have. I don't think so. I don't think. I think that's one of the things that was irking me because it didn't have that sense of fun. Because I think the movie took itself a little too
okay,
seriously
it
in a
had
lot of
moments. Let me
places.
rephrase that. It had moments, not so. Yeah, you're right. It had
Right,
moments to
right.
me.
Like I say, like a lot of things were missing. Like first, can I talk about this for a second? So, like the
Yeah, yeah.
reveal that those Japanese Asians at the end were Tachibana and Taki. I'm like, if you don't get that fucking John Robin Dark Knight bullshit out of here,
Okay, Prime. I had to get confirmation from somebody about that. They basically was like, "Yeah, it was supposed to be them," and I'm like, "Are you serious?"
they
Like,
no, they said it. They were like, oh, and by the way, our names are you can call us Taki and that's Tachibana. I'm like, if you don't get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit,
no, that's what I'm saying. There's a couple of people. I was like, "Was that supposed to be them?" They was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay, all right."
and
But
like
yeah, like you said, it is the John Robin thing. I'm like, come on, Nolan, just
you
give us
don't
Robin. What are you
I'm
doing
like,
here,
if you
man? Like,
don't get the fuck out of here with that, like I was so fucking perturbed and annoyed. Like, look, and it's also gonna sound strange, but it's so weird not having the Kamen Rider Kids Club there. Like, you could at
you're
least
right. You are
like
right.
even fucking Kamen Rider Black, which was a remake or a reimagining of the original show, had their own take, their own spin on the Kamen Rider
I mean, they
Kids.
were
Like,
child
it's
soldiers, but
but
hey,
it was a take. It was a take.
it
It
was
was a
take. It
choice.
was take. It was take.
And it's so
Prime.
weird, like that even you did have like one representative, like it's so weird because like they took all the girl sidekicks and essentially combined them into one with this
Mhm.
version of Rumiko, who by the way, I'm gonna just assume that's also what happened to her OG counterpart. Because like she leaves with Hango and we never see her again. Never she's not even brought up. So I'm like, did she get fucking murked in South America? Like what the fuck?
Maybe I don't know. Prime. I'm just now reminded that now you know what? This is why this is the same way I felt about um the Gatchaman live action movie.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
I,
now it's starting to click with me now because the Gatchaman live action movie I thought it was gonna be this very fun, like in the spirit of Gatchaman, and then I watched the movie and I'm like, you guys are taking this shit way too seriously than you should.
Like, just tone it back just a little bit, like, just a tad bit. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Gatchaman is about people in bird suits and it's dope as shit. Like, why did it have to get all super serious now? Like, hey, like I expect this from America, not like what's going on here? Like,
I mean, sure, guys, if that's the take you're gonna go with, that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
choice. I mean, I guess, but like,
Again, I didn't hate the movie, but it was like it could have been so much better. And it's like,
right, right. And I think that's like it's really am where I am. It's like I say, like I wouldn't if someone who doesn't want to watch Toku, like I wouldn't show this to them as their first introduction. Like I like
I
no.
came this close. I would probably show them Shin Ultraman.
Yeah, I would show them Shin Ultraman.
I would show
Before I
Shin
show them
Ultraman for
this.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
But this, if I'm trying to get somebody to Kamen Rider, probably not. I'll actually probably show them the first. If that you want to watch them, let's just ease you into this a little bit
Kamen
here.
Rider first, see how you feel, and then we show you Shin Kamen Rider, and then
Yeah, we'll see what
we'll
they
go from there. Go
then we'll
from
go
there.
from there.
And
And we
again,
can
doesn't
watch
mean we hate it, but you know what? I'm right in the boat with you where it's like I could have waited for Blu-ray and I'll been fine.
right. Well, no, I mean I'm glad I saw it in the theater. I'm glad I
Oh
had
no,
that
no, the
experience.
theater experience is dope. Don't get it twisted. Like seeing in the theater setting, it's
And
great.
right, like in the US it was like so much fun. And there were so many fucking nerds in my
Did you have a pack theater in yours?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I was like, you fucking weebs, and I'm a
And I
weeb
had a
too.
Kamen Rider shirt on because
I
that's
did
how I
too.
roll, bitch.
I did
That's
too.
how I roll, baby. And when I was coming to the theater, some chick saw me and she was getting her concessions, and she looked like she wanted to say something, but I was with my wife, so she didn't say anything. And when we got into the theater, she came in right behind us, and I was like, what up?
Yo, I was genuinely shocked because it's like, eh, in my head, it's like, you think of Toku as this being this very kind of like on the rim kind of thing where people know about it, but we ain't that deep.
Right.
So to go in the theater, it's like, yo, this theater is damn near full. Like
And you know what?
wow,
I had to
okay,
I had to
shit,
break I had to break my mind. I had to break my own mind frame of that because I'm thinking, Toku was like, this niche thing is like it's not that big and like and I had to break myself of that like years ago when I fucking realized, bro, there are literally billions of people on the planet that like
exactly.
Ultraman and Kamen Rider.
Here
This
I
is
am. I'm
not
like, I'm the only.
you're not a special snowflake here, bro.
It's like I'm the only
Dial it
Toku
back.
fan in the DC area. Who the fuck are these people? And it's like, oh yeah, I am like one of billions of people in this world. Of course,
Like,
of course.
calm down. Like, you don't sell that many fucking rider belts on premium Bandai for just you and me, bro. Come on now. Look on Twitter right now. Come on, calm down. Calm down.
But that's also the other thing too, because it's like I think in my head in that moment I fell into that trap that a lot of us do where we look at social media as like the numbers, and then we don't realize it's more people on that's not on social media like that do intake what we intake in a
Right,
way.
right. And it's another thing we need to also mention. Like, just because somebody doesn't like talk about it excessively like us,
Yeah.
doesn't mean they're not fans. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Masters of the Universe. I don't often talk about it a lot though. But like if you go in my
Yeah.
house, like I have a ironically, as I say this, I'm sitting next to a shelf filled with nothing but figures. Right. I'm
Yeah.
also a huge Ninja Turtles fan. Do I talk about Ninja Turtles a lot on Twitter? No, not really. But
Yeah.
I follow the
Hey.
comic books. I watch the shows. I watch the movies. I have thoughts and feelings about that new movie that I can't wait to talk to you about.
I mean, look, I love it. I mean, but I can understand the reservations people have with it for sure. For sure.
Right.
I get it. Like I think I've gotten to a point where I'm open to understanding people in their trepidations on certain interpretations. So I think that's why it's like I've I didn't jump on people that probably weren't huge on Shin Kamen Rider, but like
Right.
when I hear them talk about it, it's the thing of they're pretty much like me and you, where it's like it didn't do a lot to make me hate it, but it also didn't do a lot to make me love it. So it's like,
Exactly.
man.
That's kind of that's where we were on the same page. That's where I'm at, dog. And like the only people I would give like pushback on are the people who I saw online going, "Oh, 10/10, this is a perfect movie." Really, bro? No notes?
Like I can get when you come out the theater that high. Don't get it twisted. Like when you come out of a movie that like I think I had that bit of high coming out of it, like, oh man, this is fire. And it took me a couple of days of really thinking back on it, like, yeah, it has some issues. It definitely
Had
has
a
some
couple of
issues.
structural problems going on there.
And like I said, when you brought up the thing, like, no, it was Landrill that brought up the scene in the dark, and I was like, fuck, he's right. Damn it.
And then it starts going off and going through and connecting like,
bro,
goddamn.
bro, the dots start connecting. It's like, oh,
And I'm
crap.
still stuck on a like no shocker generals, man. Like even the first had a cameo from Dr. Shinigami, Lord rest his actor's heart.
Yeah.
After he was gone, even they knew to put him in the movie in some capacity to show the leadership structure. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I
Now,
think
one thing
that's
I really love, now one thing
Mhm.
I absolutely fucking loved was each of the augmented, they had like their own like little base layers. And that was like a straight
Mhm.
up wonderful homage to the OG show where each monster had like their forward operating base that
Mhm.
Kamen Rider had to go into and fuck
Dude,
up.
hey, look, the Wasp one when she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go inside that server room, destroy it, and do blah blah blah." I was like, "All right, cool. This is a mission. We gotta go." Like you said, go into each layer. It's like, "All right, cool. I like that." That's
I'm like, I fucking like what a fun way to incorporate that production element from the OG show, which was done, I'm pretty sure, to cut down on cost because each set was the same set. They
like they're
just
like,
replaced the monster emblem in the background with a new one.
first off, Prime, all them sets were like 1 mile from each other. What are you talking about?
Which about what, two sets on the same damn sound stage.
It's like on the same stage. It really didn't feel like they really went a long way on the set for this movie. It's like,
Let's say
all
I
right,
swear.
back roads. All right, cool, back roads. Okay, in the woods, this place. Okay, we're back in the woods. Because at one point, they do a thing where they were with the Wasp General escape, and it's like, so did y'all just go 2 miles away from the Wasp General's base?
Right. And that scene where they were eating. Like, look, another thing that bothered me, and I wish they had like more downtime a little bit to see the have them
Yeah, it
interacting
goes
because
a
that's some of
mile a minute. Ew,
this
whew.
movie hits the ground and like, which is a positive thing and also because it doesn't give you, it's a positive and a negative because it hits the ground running because it knows what it wants to do. Now, what it wants to do isn't very well, but it does it.
Yeah.
But it hits the ground running and it goes. And I wish they had more downtime scenes, like the scenes where they were eating outside the Wasp Og's base, or the scene when they were like playing house together when they're
Yeah,
like I
Hongo's
wish they had
place.
I wish they had more time to talk and interact like fucking human beings, like characters, because I think that's also some of the strongest parts of the movie.
Yeah, because you get insight to, like you were mentioning about, well, like Hongo's whole kind of coming to terms of
It's
him and his
PTSD
power. Yeah,
basically.
his PTSD, his power sets in like who he is. Because it's kind of interesting too, because on the flip side, you have Ichimonji who's just embracing the fact, like, oh, I'm a fucking Kamen Rider. I can do all this shit.
Which is fucking funny because that's kind of like how it was in the OG show where Hongo was kind of like a tortured, I'm a avenger of the night. I must always work and
Yeah, I'm
operate
that man.
alone. Fucking Ichimonji was like, "What's up, bitches?"
Yo, Ichimonji, yo, that's what I love, because Ichimonji's like, yeah, I mean, I used to be, an investigative reporter, but now I punch people in the face. Let's go. All
What's up? I take pictures and can do rider kicks. What up? Get on my level.
Bro, it's like if Spider-Man could do rider kicks. It's like, all right, cool. Peter Parker can kick the shit out of somebody. Let's go.
Fucking love Ichimonji, man. The drip guard. That home was it? That homegirl was it Mari that was thirsty for his dick? He
Yeah.
was like, I was like, take a picture. Nah, bitch, I don't take pictures of women.
I punch people in the face.
Fuck out my house.
His hands are ready to eat for everyone.
And I mean everyone. Scrub thought. What?
Hey, look. Hongo was about ready to fuck that Wasp chick up for free.
Man, he was like, bro, it'll make her
You about,
sad, so I'm not gonna do it.
you about to catch this rider kick, but my girl over here loves you. Y'all BFFs, so I don't want to dash her hopes.
Right. You better thank her every single day.
I know, right? Because he was about ready to be like lights out, bitch.
Which I think was also a really good character mode because they set that up earlier and I was like, yo, when you go into your berserk mode, like you are out of control. That's not you anymore.
Yeah. Oh man. Dog. Because look, I ain't gonna lie. Like when they did the power sets and stuff, when I saw her do this shit, I was like, oh, Hongo about to get fucked up.
Hongo said, bitch, you thought.
For a moment, she had him. For a moment, she almost had him. But it's like he ended up pulling a Goku and just like, nah, not today, bitch.
Get that Zenkai boost real quick.
Oh my god, man! But like I said again, I think that's just we again we're joking about a lot of the moments in this movie and stuff. So it's like there's clearly things that we liked about it. But like I
Like I
said,
said,
it's
yeah, there
just
are a lot of parts I love, but like I said, a lot of parts I didn't, and they're like they're at odds with each other. They're fighting, they're fighting together, and they're
yeah.
like I think they're just canceling each other out, man.
But I see what you mean by like a Shin Go Ranger. I'm like, damn, Prime might be right. I don't know if I want a Shin Go
No, no, no,
Ranger.
I'm good on that. You keep that, bro. I'm straight.
Unless he gets fucking Higuchi back, that's the only way that'll work. You got to get Higuchi back.
Yeah,
You
that's the
got
only
to.
way I'll take it. But I don't think I don't. You know what? It's fine.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
look.
not.
I like Go Ranger. It's just like, are they gonna do a Shin Go Ranger? Probably not, because I don't even know.
Probably not. Probably not.
I mean, I'd rather you do a Shin Metal Hero before anything else.
I mean, yeah, I'll take a Shin Gavin. I mean,
Shin Gavin could work. I ain't gonna
that
lie.
was essentially the Gavin Type G movie, but we don't talk about the Gavin Type G movie.
Prime,
We'll talk
Prime, you
about that.
about to scare off the normies. They're like, what's Gavin Type G? What's that?
Shh. Don't even worry about it.
Don't worry about
Don't,
it.
don't even worry about the Chaku movie. We're okay. We're good.
I hate you. How was he gonna
We
say
don't-
Chaku?
We don't talk about the Chaku movie. It's okay. It's okay.
Just go to Toku Worldwide YouTube channel and just watch Gavin, Space Sheriff Gavin, and call it a day. Hey, go to Discotech Media and buy the Space Sheriff Gavin Blu-ray. All right, how about that?
Speaking of discotheque and speaking of Blu-rays, you should see those screenshots they posted of their master for Kamen Rider Black RX.
Bro,
Looking pretty good.
Crisp with new subtitles.
Pretty good.
Look.
Pre-order secured.
Yeah, I needed pre-order after this. It's kind of interesting how much value being able to get the original VHS tapes of some of these shows and being able to transfer them to higher quality, how much of a difference that is. That's crazy. The crispness of those fights. Yes, you're gonna see the imperfections of the suit, but it doesn't matter.
I want
I
to
want
see
that.
it. That's
I want
what
to
I
see
want.
it. But like, I get to watch Black RX in crisp 1080p. I mean, I still got my, downloaded copy, but still, to have the Blu-ray right there, I can just watch it in its all
In
its
that
glory.
in that wonderful photoshopped package.
Hey, that cover was dope. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm trying to source the two images right now. Like, where are these pictures from?
It's like this wasn't in the show. Is
I'm
this
like, what promotional seals are these?
Hey, look, the extras in it is what got me. That's why,
Right, I want to see that interview, bro. I got it. I want to see it so bad.
Look, man, it's what's interesting to me, and I don't know if we ever talked about this. It's kind of interesting how much of a celeb these older toku actors are.
Well, they're the elder statesmen.
Yeah, but they're treated like the elder statesmen, and I don't know if America has that. Well, I mean, Trek, Captain Picard and them are kind of, I guess you could say, is the same level to it, basically, in a way. But
Right.
it's just crazy, like the celebrity these actors are, like below. I mean, granted, it's for reasons. I mean, you were OG
Part of
Kamen
people's
Rider,
childhoods,
Gavin,
man.
Black RX, man.
You are part of people's childhoods. You are set for life, bro.
And I mean, I'm pretty sure they appreciate that too. They clearly, I mean, for him to sit down for a DVD interview, that's a big thing.
Right, and he's gonna be with the suit actor too, so I cannot wait to watch that.
Ball on this. Oh, I need to know that because I want to hear the stories, the tea.
Man, I got it. And he's really laid back dude too, so I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. That might be the first thing I watch is that fucking interview.
Hey, look, that when Shout Factory did the original Power Ranger box sets, I didn't even watch the show. I just watched the fucking behind the scenes shit because I'm more interested in hearing the Ranger actors and them talking about the shows they were on because it was like engaging hearing from their point of view, on that kind of stuff. And it's just fun knowing the history of that and stuff because you just, you gravitate to that stuff. Because if you're a person that maybe never went to a convention where these actors talk about it, now you have it on DVD and you can just hear them talk about it.
Or the one they did for Jew Ranger that had Tyranno Rainers and Kamen Rider Geo's actor.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
I mean, come on. Like who doesn't? I mean, it's the equivalent of like that Star Trek thing with the captains, and they had that round table. That shit was fucking. I ate that shit up
Mhm.
all day. I mean, Cisco fanboy over here. Just that's a wrap. That's why I'm kind of like, man, I wish I could interview my man, but he doesn't go to conventions, unfortunately. So damn it.
Sadly.
I know, sadly, really, it's just like, damn, man, because black fans will be coming out the woodworks for him easily. Oh shit. Did Prime leave? No. Uh-oh. I think Prime bounced out. Unless his internet went out. No. Hold on. Okay, you're back.
It was shocker. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's yeah. So, but yeah. So if if you're listening to this and hey, Blu-ray for this is gonna probably come out. I don't know who's gonna do the release for the Blu-ray. That's gonna be kind of interesting. Who picks
Yeah, I
up
would
the
love
tab
to
for
see
that one?
because the Kamen Rider media rights right now is a hot
In
mess.
flux. It's in
Right.
flux. Look, if Discotech does the release for Shin Kamen Rider, there's gonna be some behind the scenes shit on it. I hope
Man.
Discotech does Shin Kamen Rider just for
And
the
here's
behind the
me.
scenes stuff alone.
And here's me waiting on fucking media blasters like, yo, where those 5 movies, bro? Y'all promised us like a year and a half ago. Where y'all at? We at?
Probably by the time that happens, Shout Factory will probably be at Geki Ranger by the time that
Now,
happens.
now hold on, let me turn to Shaft Factor. I'm looking at them. So yo, where's my OG Kamen Rider in Blu-ray yet?
Come on, Prime. They're all about the newer era. They ain't about the older era. Come on now.
Come on, man. Give my box set. Give my box set.
Hey, I'd rather Discotech give me OG Kamen Rider if you want to be real.
Well, they're not because Shout Factory has the rights.
Fuck.
Yeah, Shout Factory has OG, Kuga, Ryuki, 01, and I think one more. Am I missing one more?
They've been skipping around, so it wouldn't be surprising.
I know they got I'm saying I know they got the Geo movie. Generation, Heisei Generation's final. And I'm sorry, Forever. Is it Forever or is it final?
I think it's final.
Okay. Heisei Generation's final.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'm missing one more though. Somebody at me on Twitter and correct me which one I'm not thinking about.
I know if you guys get a chance to and you listen to this on YouTube, Soundbite, he did like a breakdown of the whole Kamen Rider who has distribution and all that stuff. It definitely cleared up a lot of like confusion, at least on my end. Like, all right, cool, got you.
Oh shit! Hit me with that link. I want to see that.
All right, yeah. Not to burst your bubble, but your boy Pookie is doing a first reveal for the Cosmic Fury Morpher. So
I saw that shit. Can I
Prom is laughing in the corner maniacally.
Can I just say, like, his people don't care about him?
Because
why they let him post that picture?
That's why I said you were going to be laughing your ass up.
Like, why they let him
on IG, no less.
Oh my god! Why y'all let him post that picture? Y'all do not care about that man at all.
That man embarrassed himself.
All them dick riders, y'all gonna let that man embarrass himself like that? Y'all couldn't be his anchor. Be like, I don't think you should. I think you should retake this picture. I think we need to do something.
Gotta defend by any means necessary, even if it's bad.
I mean, otherwise we might not get. Otherwise, we might not get passive aggressive interaction with him on Twitter. So we got to defend what he says, right? Right?
Hey, I'll say this: Shin Kamen Rider made money in the box office, which I really want to see. I want to see what these American numbers are looking like for it to get a second run. It has to be good for it to get a second one. It
has to be because they would not otherwise.
Because even the other two never got second runs. It was just like, okay, here's Shin Godzilla, and that was hold up. Did Shin Godzilla get a worldwide release?
I think they might have gotten. No, you know what? I don't remember. I do not remember.
I know Shin Ultraman was Phantom. I know it for sure, but I'm trying to remember did Shin Godzilla.
No, Shin Godzilla was Phantom because it was on one day only. Because I had to
Okay.
I went on the weekend and I went without my other because they had to go to work and I was like, sorry.
Sacrifices must be made.
I mean, I didn't do your work schedule. Don't get mad at me. I mean, I'm gonna go see Godzilla.
Somebody's not. Nah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, dude, for this to get a second run, I'm like, the money has to be pretty good, like, because this shit made like it made 60 million in Japan, so
Which is pretty respectable.
very
Pretty respectable.
respectable. That's why I'm like, I need to know what this American money is looking like here, because that's, I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, let's be real, Kamen Rider is never going to hit Godzilla numbers at the box
Nah,
office,
nah.
but the fact that it made the money that it did is still pretty good.
Yeah, it's just all goes down to knowing your audience, and budgeting accordingly.
Yeah.
Like you don't need 550 million budget for a Kamen Rider movie. Just saying.
That's why I dread the day, maybe when 50 years from now, when America's like, we're gonna do Kamen Rider, and I'm gonna probably have a fucking heart attack and die because of that shit. The Kamen Rider, it's like, how did Chris die? He heard the Kamen Rider news, killed over and died. Damn shame.
It's okay. He left instructions in his will.
Burn theaters down right now.
It will be taken care of. Everything's been prepared for.
Swear to God, man, they'll do a Kamen Rider movie for like 150 million. I'll fucking roll over my goddamn grave. Like, really, $150 million Kamen Rider movie? That's what we're doing. Okay.
Like had that work out for Power Dash Ranger? I wonder.
And that shit was under 100 million. That's the no, was that? Yeah, that was 100 million. So like, yeah. Man, you said Power Dash Ranger, you ain't shit.
They made the movie, not me. I'm not shit. I didn't make them make that damn movie.
You said Power Dash. Man, you said Power Dash.
That's how they fucking treated that shit. That's how they were acting. I didn't make them do that shit.
Prime. It's Shin Q Ranger, all right?
Oh,
Shin
you
Q
right.
Ranger.
You right. Shin Ju Ranger. You right.
Shin Ju Ranger. Shin Ju Ranger.
You right.
Why I say Q Ranger.
You right.
Shin Ju Ranger.
You right. You right.
Oh my god. So yeah, that's it for our spoilerific review of Shin Kamen Rider. This was fun. This was
Right.
definitely fun. I love when we have moments of clarity. I have moments of clarity like this and thinking back on a movie like this. It turns to fun discussions.
Right. And so the question is, like, would I recommend this movie?
It's coming out on Blu-ray, so you know, hey,
would I recommend it?
Maybe it's in the maybe pile for me. It's like
that's on if you're interested. If you're a hardcore fan, like you probably already seen it. So like I'm not convincing you.
And if not the first time, you're going to the one on June 8th. So there you go.
Right. And if you're interested in Kamen Rider, like, should this be your introduction? No. that's a hard no.
Yeah, because you're not going to pick up on a lot of the Easter egg stuff like me and Prime did. I mean, Prime caught on some extra stuff I didn't catch, but some of the regular Easter egg stuff that like I knew, I was like, oh shit, that's from okay, cool. You know, and some people aren't going to catch on to that kind of stuff.
Right. Like, and I also had a boy who saw the movie and he was like upset at the end. Again, we're spoiling. Like, if you're still listening and that's on you now. Yeah. But I had a boy at the end. He left the theater. He messaged me. He was like so mad. He was like, and they killed Hongo. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, Hongo dies in the manga, and then they kind of mimic his fate, where he's a consciousness in the so it's like it's fine. Like that's a homage to the manga, so it's all good. It's all good.
Progress. It's progress. You know?
I mean, no, it's like what Lucas says, poetry. It rhymes. It's fine. It's fine. That didn't annoy me.
That's true. That is true. I think, you know what? I think that is because it's like if you're a person that watches American stuff and you know, international movies and stuff, it's like the vibe is definitely different because more often than not, a lot of international movies they do not sugarcoat their endings more often than not.
Nah, no
like
sequel
that
bait
shit
in here.
To you raw. It's like, hey, that's the ending. Like, good example. Me and the guys, we had talked about SPL Killzone, right, with Sammo Hung and Donnie Yen. And like at the end, you're thinking, oh, spoilers for Killzone. But at the end, you know, he beats Sammo Hung, and you're thinking, oh man, you know, the good guy, he's the cop, he saves the day. Sammo Hung's character gets up after getting his ass whooped and throws Donnie Yen's character outside of a window, and his Donnie Yen dies. The trade-off is the car that Donnie Yen landed on was with Sammo Hung's character's wife and kid, who got killed after getting hit by the impact of Donnie Yen landing on the car.
Karma's a motherfucker, ain't it?
So it's a somber ass ending. Like, oh shit! Like,
That's
yo,
bittersweet. Or like, what's that movie that The Departed was a remake of?
oh,
Well, no, never mind. I take it back. I take it back. I got him confused because The Departed, the good guy, the main character dies, but in the original version, then he gets to live because he's in sequels. Never mind.
yeah, the
My
bad
bad.
guy in the sequels, and
Yeah,
yeah,
my bad. Ignore me. Ignore
yeah.
me.
Hey, Departed at least, yeah, Departed definitely had a somber ass ending. Like, fuck. Damn.
I'm not gonna lie. I fucking laughed. I went, ha!
Oh, I laughed. Don't get it twisted. Matt Damon deserved that bullet in his head. Like, especially came from Marky Mark. So I'm happy.
Say hi to your mother for me.
I'm sorry. I will always call Mark Wahlberg Marky Mark. It just is what it is.
You want to know why? Kids, Google Mark Wahlberg and Chinese people. Oh, sorry, what?
Woo! Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oof.
Excuse
That's
me.
all I'll
Pardon
say.
me.
Big
Pardon me.
oof.
Pardon me. My bad.
That's why you will probably never see Mark Wahlberg in a Chinese production film ever, because
There's some history there.
there's some history, some Boston history.
I'm so mad at you right now.
I ain't shit. I'm sorry. I'm getting it from you, Prime. All right, you rubbed off on me. Okay, this is what it is.
God damn it, man.
All right, man. Yeah, that's it. And next more for Metacast, we'll be back with a full show with the results of the poll. And
Your boy. Go
see you
vote.
guys later. Peace.
Auf Wiedersehen, dudes.